All right, we're live. Hopefully you can hear me. A few minutes early today. Today's stream is on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, and then I'll stream again tomorrow, I guess. Welcome everybody. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please do. It's a fun metric for us. It's nice seeing that number get bigger. I think we just passed 4,000 subscribers on our mailing list. If you're not familiar with the mailing list, then I guess use the YouTube to get to the web page to get to the mailing list. Is probably your best bet. Tonight we're going to spend some time focusing on zone lines, probably setting up some zone lines and data over here, as well as putting in some spawners in this area. This is one of the, I think, few remaining areas that need some spawners. Goblin area outside of the, what is it, eastern entrance to Telekir. Simon just got this done, so found a little sneaky area over here when you're walking up towards the kind of glacial lake reservoir area up here. It's a ways up here. You can hop off because you can just hop over this wall and get to some sneaky spots. So it's interesting. Hey Talet, Chas Solo, Melius, the Sava, ahoy. Alright, so what's up, Pattis? Finish off the rest of this. This is the holiday edition, the winter edition Red Bull. It is Banner und Zimt, so it is pear and cinnamon. Hey, Justin Beard. All right, we'll come back to zone lines in a few minutes. For now, let's look up. Let's look up some goblins. We got all these nice goblin NPCs and spawn tables set up already that Nick set up. My curiosity becomes a little bit, should we go ahead and start to block out some placeholders in case we want to make these guys different than the other ones? But I mean, I guess that could be a problem for future me or future designers. Hey Zukin, what's going on, dude? Hey Life Water, Nightmare. Yeah, I said pear and cinnamon, not hair and cinnamon Malleus. Not sure how the latter would taste. These guys are a little bit higher level though. Huh. Is there value to having some like 6, 7, and 8? Hey Keith. Let me look at something really fast. You know what I'm gonna do? Either way, I'm just gonna make 3 NPC records, new NPC records. Got the feeling Nick's probably duplicating these with a nice little handy SQL script. But what we'll do is we'll do 6, 7, 8. That'll transition into here well enough because then you'll run into 8, 9, 10, 11 on the inside of the zone. So let's just start here. Hey, Sparrow. And oh, I did that last time. Wound up changing skin tones instead of level. How have y'all been? I didn't see you guys yesterday. I'll be honest with you. Jasmine got off work and was just kind of like over it. And the seasonal changes happened real fast this year again. And I was just kind of like, ugh. So we were like, you know what? You want to eat dinner and just like hang out and do nothing for a little bit? And that wound up being the plan, and it was a good plan. So that was my evening yesterday. Feel like it was the good move. It was nice. Did the garden survive my hand injury? This year just wasn't a great garden year. I've got to get into Discord and actually post all the pictures from last year and this year. Just the weather was very crappy, and then with the roof, we had the entire, like, we had the roof demoed and then rebuilt, and so we weren't up there when he was up there, and it just wound up not being the best year for the garden. It did, yeah, with the broken finger and all that stuff. So those are our excuses, but now we've got a nice roof, the interior's coming along, learned some more things for next year, so garden will be good. What's up, Robert? Was literally just thinking about you a bunch while getting the music set up for the background, and it's funny because I was trying to remember our discussion that we had, because I was looking at like the MIDI on the previous song, the Telekir song. I was looking at the MIDI when I was getting things set up here, and I was trying to remember. My assumption is that you mess around on the piano and come up with something that you feel like feels good, and then layer in the other instruments. But my initial question before I thought about that was, do you just hear all of it at once? Is it like some Mozart shit or whatever, where it's like you hear the violin and the this and the that at the same time? Sparrow said, honestly feeling exhausted. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think it's probably just this time of year when fall kicks in. It gets a little bit grayer out. The days are shorter. Just get tired. That's why I'm drinking this delicious pear and cinnamon Red Bull. Amelia said, been good working on my game. Still ages away from getting things in a playable state. Well, a little bit at a time. One day at a time. That was very off key. That was not at all like the commercials I used to watch on TV. The super late night commercials for like the 58 CD gospel set. Order now, and we'll throw in. The music you play will be in game. OD562. Yep, the music that I'm playing, looping in the background, is our music. It's from our playlist. If you use this command, it'll get you there, or it should. Oh wait, it'll do that if I actually start the damn bot. Let me start the bot that's supposed to be started. I knew I was forgetting to do something, man. All right, when the bot actually gets up and running, this guy right here, then we'll run the command. So, speaking of the interview with Robert and the playlist, I believe it was Ivan that had a, well, maybe I shouldn't use his real name. Maybe I should use his code name. I believe it was Stab that had the idea of us adding a music page on our website as well. And I was like, oh yeah, and then we can have the interview / discussion with Robert embedded and the music embedded. So, but yeah, this is our wonderful music. We are very, very fortunate to have met such a rad dude. Robert said, I compose not necessarily on the piano. It can be any kind of sound, and I improvise, play around with various ideas. For example, Telecare track has a piano track in the forefront of the mix, and that track was the first thing I recorded. I built everything else around that. Yeah, so I think that's why I was like, that's why I was thinking piano originally, but I was wondering if it was just like, anything pops into your mind, and then how many of those things pop into your mind at the same time, or if it's just kind of random and it's like, yeah. But then I felt bad because I was like, maybe we discussed that in the interview. I'm so bad because I'll do the interviews. I won't rewatch them typically because I don't want to hear myself speak. But then I also didn't absorb all the information well during it because I'm so worried about like just asking questions and shit. So I need to just get over myself and actually listen to myself. Nightmare said, Robot, not sure you remember, I'm also Pi, worked on Defend the Night for a while there. Were you, so Pi, were you one of the 4 people in the discussion that we had that night? I was trying to remember that. Okay, cool. Well, no, was it 4 or was it 5? I'm trying to remember if it was 4 or 5 people that night. I thought it was 4, but now I'm starting to wonder. Aha. Had 5, but for on video. Hey, Unchained. How many people, speaking of, as soon as I saw Unchained P99, I was like, how many people are still playing Project Quorum? Man, I have not. I felt like maybe I'd want to play tonight on stream, but then I just immediately felt guilty. I was like, I need to just be working. I need to just be working. Hey, Fluff, thanks for the follow. Shannon B said level 32 on Quorum right now. Man, that's a lot of leveling. Fabrizio. Good afternoon. Unchained said there's 1,500, 1,700 most evenings. Still playing? Nice. As there should be. I really want to be in there. I just... I feel like I'm perpetually behind on work. So I feel bad if I'm every time I sit down I'm like, oh, I should sit down and play, and then I'm like, shit, I just got so much stuff to do. I always feel like I'm behind everybody else on the team. So I'm like, oh man, the guys are working so hard. I don't want to be the slacker. Fuck. So then I don't play. And then I'm like, oh man, but I really want to play, and then it would be cool if I could actually keep up in levels and stuff this time and play with folks. I know, that's why I was gonna change it. Stop yelling at me, database. Nightmare said, love you, Cuba. I've noticed chrono farmers are a problem. Not sure if they fix that. Well, you don't have to worry about that on Project Quorum. There are no chronos to farm. Antref 2726. The year when all things become possible. Said, still playing PQ, but I don't know. I'm not into this go around. Level 19 wizard. Why not? Why aren't you into it this time around, Antref? Zukin said same. What, are you not as into it this time around either? Robert said, I don't even have time to play on P99 Blue because of music work. So starting new tunes on Quorum is just too much project at the moment. Yeah. I can definitely see that, dude. But it's dedication like that makes me feel bad then. Well, you guys, Zukin, you shouldn't feel that way. Zukin said, I was saying same to wanting to play Quorum, but always feeling like I should be working on Yama. You shouldn't feel that way. You should balance it. You're making a big sacrifice, so getting some PQ time in is good. Antro says, I think for me, family dynamics, work, adult stuff. Yeah. Oh man. Melia said, yeah, I have dad duties. Trying to work on my own game, fix back problems, twins in a way, no time for games. Well, hopefully everybody's not in that boat. We'll eventually ship and everybody's like, I don't have enough time to play this game. What? But we made it just for you. You can add non-existing HIDs to the zone spawn table via the population tool, and can add them using SQL. Will be easier to. Yeah, I'm old, Nick, and not super fancy. So for me, I just enjoy the process of doing it this way. And we'll eventually maybe learn SQL right before we've got enough people on the team to just do the work and I can retire. This allows me to poke at something while I stream and feel like I'm semi-productive. But I do appreciate it. I think I said even, I don't think you were in yet. I said, I'm sure Nick's got a faster way to do this with SQL. And then proceeded to continue just poking at the database. Robert said, returning to the subject of the website, perhaps we could have an embedded music playlist there with old school black gray Winamp UI. I was curious about the embedded music thing. I know Eco's got one on their website. Nick said, I mean, you can skip the NPC creation part entirely and just set up the spawners and I can fill in the NPCs. Okay. Though I've never done that before. Like, part of this process has been kind of interesting because I come from a background of like populating the zones and making the NPCs and doing a lot of the stuff, adding quests and doing a lot of stuff just kind of myself. So only doing half the work kind of feels weird sometimes. Because I'm like, if I'm not going to make the NPCs, then yeah, it just feels like half a process. I'm just plopping spawners. Let's see what's going on back here. I'm always curious on this YouTube account because my personal YouTube account is Prime or whatever, so it never asks. It just keeps running and running. It never asks if I need the if I want to keep listening or whatever is going on here. All right. Zone panel. Free Snake said, hi again, Sean. Do you have an estimate of how many assets you'll have made for the game so far? We could probably look and tell you, but I don't know anything offhand. What is the issue? Can you put a blank NPC spawn group ID in the new tool? Oh, I don't know. I've never tried putting a blank NPC spawn group ID. I'm actually trying to picture what you mean. Just not having it because there's the default in here. Like a placeholder? Non-existing? I don't think so. It's gonna, because there's a default in here. I've noticed that then, Keith, I've noticed with some of them, like these later ones, that they all have got the Abad default. And I'm assuming maybe these are ones that were made with the new tool versus ones that were made with the old tool. So this is, and the downside to that is, and the only downside really, because it doesn't matter if they're just a static spawner and there's no day-night, right? The only downside is that you did this nice setup where we could actually see the spawn name, but then all of them got a bot on the tacked onto the end. Yeah, Nick, I don't think you can do non-existing. And the funny thing is, I don't think I ever tried non-existing in the old one, but. I guess I just assumed it had to have something, and oh no, I know what I did. In old ones, if I was just placing placeholder spawns, I would make a placeholder spawn group with a placeholder NPC and just put them all in and they would all just be placeholder. And then I could also, I guess, I think the placeholder NPCs were named placeholder NPC. So then I could also search the zone and see if there are any placeholder NPCs in the zone. Thanks, Nightmare. Wonder if we can just have looking at the existing list as an option, but also allow for manual text entry. Keith, what do you think about that one? Because I've thought about that one a bit as well. And every time I feel like I just want manual entry, then I wind up typing in like the thing that I was going to paste or whatever anyway. I mean, because... Oh, I haven't made the spawn table yet. Free Snake said it would be kind of trivial, but I came to the question when I heard a wild rumor that guys behind Project Ascension were working on an MMO of their own without any association with World of Warcraft. They need to produce a large amount of assets for it to happen. I'm not sure what you mean. I feel like you're going somewhere with that, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand where you were going with it. I got confused. I was like, Free Snakes is making a point, but I'm not doing a good job of understanding the point. Ascension's a custom private WoW server similar to Classless EQ, Nick said. Okay, okay. Meant going with the whole asset question when you have enough assets for an MMO to happen. For whatever reason, I think I've just confused it with something else, Nick. Congrats, Malus. Yeah, Zlich. You can press the X button to add a null zone spawner, Keith said. There you go. Busy on Quorum, hard to get in here some days. No worries, it's hard for me to get in here some days as well. Let's see if this breaks. We can test it in a minute. But I don't know what I'd be testing. How big is the gap going to be between least active class to most active class in terms of output and attention, if that is decided yet? That's a good question for Nick. Let's see. We'll just do these as a as placeholder for now. And then they can just be updated later. Drew Bull, thank you for the follow. Mela says, also I need to hop on streams more. This reminds me of working in an office. What, just having people to chat with? See, that's the problem with offices. You're supposed to be working in an office, not chatting. What's going on? Let's see. Mela says, I feel like I get a lot of stuff done sometimes. I work pretty tight with our designers and marketing department when I was at this startup in New York City. Can you say what startup it was? Are you allowed? Sure can. Oh. Rockets of Awesome. Kids clothing company startup. Okay, fair enough. Apologies for being quiet. I'm just going to be focusing on this. But if I feel like, there's any value to me reading out whatever you're saying or whatever, I'll hop in there. Nisava is level 27 on Quorum right now. Just working on your piercing skill. Look at you go. All right, Keith. Keith is stepping away for a few minutes. How dare you? Music should be pretty loud this time around, according to what I'm seeing in the Streamlabs monitor thingy. But let me know if you can't hear it well enough, since I'm not doing a lot of chatting at the moment. Hey, Bikekeeper. What was I doing? Interesting. I've never, I don't think I've ever tried that combo before. I'm gonna leave it in there and see if anything weird happens. Oh shit, I didn't even need to do that. I'm gonna try something out that I haven't done. Got that new functionality in here. What? Can I actually set the frickin' facing? I realized something today that I think I've known for quite a while, but I just happened to see like somebody repost a tweet or something, and I realized that And this is just a personal failing. I kind of get annoyed when people say not curse words instead of curse words when they really should just be saying curse words. I don't know what that says about me, but it does frustrate me. What the duck do you mean? Zukin, that's actually kind of cute. I think that's what the duck is. I think that's fine. It makes me think of Howard the Duck, but it's still. What the duck is fine. That's an old army mentality. I mean, I grew up in an army family. And, well, my family, my dad was army, and then does No Mercy not say curse words? I'm not trying to pick on anybody. If No Mercy doesn't say curse words, then it's fine when No Mercy's doing it. Yeah, but I grew up in an army family, and then other families like in law enforcement and shit like that. So, and I really tried to watch my language on stream. Even before we started the, maybe not as much before we started the whole project, because the situation I find myself in now is I don't want to represent the company poorly by like, you know, whatever. Even though I'm sure I do all sorts of shit all the time that I probably shouldn't do, but so I've been conscious of my language, and people are like, oh, you know, they play it on their TV or the kids are in the room or whatever. So I've tried to be fairly family friendly, but like, am I just sort of how would I talk naturally? That's not how I would talk. And then I think maybe sometimes it's surprising when people actually talk to me, and I get excited about shit, and then I curse a lot, and then they're like, why are you cursing at me? I'm like, I just curse a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Soulless Guardian. Not only do you have a wonderful metal sounding name, you sound like a metal band that's got a really nice cover to the album, even though there's probably not an album, it's just on Spotify or whatever. But I'm trying to think, there are already a couple Guardian names, right? Like, isn't there a Frigid Guardian? I know there's a couple Guardian bands that I've listened to. Guardian. What would be a Guardian? No, that is a song, but it's a good song. Guardians of Asgard. Artists. Blind Guardian. I thought there was something like Frozen Guardian. Oh, well, Frozen the soundtrack. Blind Guardian, Gnomed Guardian. Wish I was a metal band, but I'm not. Naked Guardian? Mila said, I accidentally cursed when I was debugging on a call with a coworker, and he was like, oh, thank God, someone else who curses when they work. Got the feeling there's a lot of that going around these days. There's probably a lot of stuff that people are like, they find out other people say or do it as well. They're like, oh shit, I'm so excited. There's another one of us. Okay, cool. We've got facing. Now what I'm curious about is, what is the facing defaulting to on go-tos, and did this create some bugs in other places? Oh, you're just making shit up? No, sorry. I almost read your name backwards. Gnomed to death. Oh, that's probably a nightmare for a few of you. Gnome to death? That would be horrible. Oh my god. That's right. Keep talking smack. We're gonna find you and we will gnome you to death. It's not gonna be comfortable. Even just then, there's definitely some self-censoring going on. Soul Essence said, imagining being in High Elf Court and your sentence is death by gnomes. And they have you stretched out on the ground. They've just got you they've got you splayed, hands and feet chained, and they're just dropping gnomes on you. Or there's like a little gnome, there's like a gnome diving board that they wheel in, and gnomes are just cannonballing, having a good time, just gnoming you to death. Or were you picturing more like death by snoo snoo? Ollie said, you know what, I think our gnomes may be too tall. Why do you say that, Ollie? After all this discussion in the past of gnomes being too short, why do you say they're too tall? You're thinking they would all be strapped together in a giant cannonball? Like a mega gnome? Like a rat king of gnomes? Gnome kings. Death by Snoo Snoo has to be a band name already. I cannot imagine it not being a band name already. Wheeldon said, I play in a cover band called Finding Emo. Oh yeah, I forgot you told me about that. Unchained said, can we have a variation of evil gnomes with Smurf hats somewhere in game, preferably underground? Smurf hats? Probably not. Probably not. If we did that, we would raise the ire of both gnomes everywhere, probably, and also whoever owns the gnome IP. The French? In that case, I'm not super worried. I was worried it was going to be the Germans or something. The Germans. Oh wow, are there a lot of them, Nick? Nick said he's cleaning up the NHF prefixes and making them all SGS now. Ollie, evil gnome dungeon boss idea, little Macron. Dude, apparently Schultz is tiny as well. I didn't realize until I saw some images earlier. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I didn't realize he was so tiny. I'm not picking on any tiny people out there. Damn it. Everything I say has the possibility of offending someone. Shit. Shit. Don't say anything. Only say nice things. Only say nice things, Sean. Are you saying I would get offended easily? Wow. Keith, I picture you getting as offended as easily as I do. And that is pretty damn offended all the time. I'm offended you only say nice things. Also, hey there. What's up, the man called Nova? That dead-eyed emoji's kind of creeping me out, though. Is that just for the month of October? Yeah, I don't run into a lot of SHAWNs, Malus. There's also Sean Ryan. He's got a good podcast, former Navy SEAL guy. Glurky said your streams are offensively fun to hang out in. I don't even believe that. I don't do anything offensive here. What? Where'd you even come up with that? Go to. Shawn Michaels, that's true. No, not a good ending on that one. Keith, did I actually write an issue for the whole these guys should turn red again when they need saved thing? Or did we just discuss it in Slack and then it disappeared? It's on the list. Okay, cool. Your streams feel like a bunch of people just hanging out at work talking shit to each other. That's kind of, I think that's what they are because I stream, what time is it for most of you guys? I stream, now I forget if it's probably like, what, 2 p.m. East Coast? It's 2 p.m. East Coast now, 2:30. Yeah, so I mean, most of you should probably be working. Unless you're recently laid off and you're not working at the moment because of that, and then, shit, I didn't mean to offend you there. Hopefully I didn't make you sad. I didn't mean to trigger you. 10:30 a.m. in Alaska, you're working on leaving Alaska? Why? If I was in Alaska, I'd be getting geared up for the Russians to be coming. Wolverines! You work in entertainment, so still affected by strikes right now? You know who's not affected? The viewers. I'm sorry, Shannon, that was inappropriate of me. Damn it! TJ Booker, thank you for the follow 12 minutes ago. Thought Red Dawn happened in Ohio? I thought Red Dawn was Colorado. Wasn't the original Red Dawn in Colorado? So Essen said, I'm in between jobs. Had to quit my last desktop support job. Place was pulling me left and right. Just did my last interview of the day. Well, congrats on that interview. Hopefully it was a decent one. 5 and then go home. Red Dawn, Calumet, Colorado. Yeah, I thought they were right in the middle. Is Colorado in the middle? I forget now that I've been in Europe so long, so cosmopolitan that I can't remember the old country. Apparently pear and cinnamon Red Bull, it's got a lot of shit talking in it. Because I'm talking a lot of shit tonight. Come to find out, you guys will find out later that I'm not even real. I'm just a character, much like Dr. Disrespect. I'm just a fucking weird character I came up with. Sean is just say I was trying to figure out if there was a way to pull that one off, but especially now that my fingers don't look right anymore. Robert said, I've met you IRL. Who is that? Oh, I gotta stay in character IRL. Earl. I gotta stay in character Earl. That's the genius of the character. Yep. And it's funny, I was just thinking about that, Nick, because right as I was loading up YouTube to, no, actually I was looking for, well, Jasmine and I will watch the Y-Files on YouTube, just because I like all the quirky, weird shit that they get into. We'll watch that during dinner, and when I was looking for the Y-Files, it actually showed an interview with Dr. Disrespect out of character, and that's the first time I think I've seen him out of character, though he does have the mustache. And he was just talking about the character. It was just like a short clip, but found it pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Oh, yeah, maybe that's what it is. He actually has crazy social anxiety, wild because his character is over the top. I am an interesting mix of social anxiety and like extroversion. I have social anxiety, but I can't not interact with people and shit in public. You definitely understand that combo. That's why I usually like to drink, but I can handle it even if I'm not drinking. Especially if everybody else is drinking, then it really works well for me, because then I'm like, you assholes are drunk. I'm not, which means I can control your mind. Stupid drunks. Ollie said the one that threw me was watching an interview of Blippi out of character. I don't even know who that is. Sparrow says, I'm pretty socially introverted, but internet extroverted. If that makes any sense. It makes absolutely sense. That makes absolute sense. I also, there are, you know, there are a lot of people that are internet shit talkers, but I'm not telling you anything you don't know. One of the things that I found really fun about the fanfares back in the day. Ollie, enjoy your sleep, buddy. I hope you get good, uninterrupted sleep tonight. Everybody, I want you to focus. Send your positive energy to Ali sleeping. I want you to picture him. I want you to picture him curled up like a little fox with his nose under his tail, curled up, snuggling down, peaceful, sleeping, uninterrupted. No kids waking him up all night. Solid 8 hours of snoozing every once in a while. Looking up from his tail, but still asleep. And then snuggling back down, nose under his own tail, much like my dog. I am going to make myself tired. And this is going to be a short stream. I'm out of here. Robert's like, kids will be kicking his balls within the hour. That is the wrong energy to send, Robert. Snoozing energy. Nightmare says my career has made me super comfortable with socializing, networking, or public speaking. Robert did not understand the assignment one bit. Because he's foreign. You know how those Scandinavians are. They don't speak a lick of English. That's absolutely not what we want. There he goes, offending people again. Sorry, all you Scandinavians. The reason why it's fine to pick on Scandinavians, though, is because they're such nice people. They're a mix of nice and extremely like. Don't talk to your neighbors in the hallway. Don't talk to your coworkers outside of work. Like introverted. Speaking of which, so even if I did offend him, he won't say anything. Big teddy bear. What was I doing? Ollie said I actually partially dislocated my shoulder yesterday, so I can only sleep on one side. Then both kids got in bed on the other side last night. Oh shit, dude, that's no fun. How did you do that? Well, tell me after you wake up tomorrow. That's no good. That's the shit that happened with his right shoulder, man. I had a new physical therapist today. My other one went back to school. And yeah, this shoulder is jacked. I thought I just had a little partial dislocation. Apparently, it's just goof troop. Nick said, "Oh great, I'll be the next one injured." You will be if you keep talking shit. Oh, sorry. That was... No. Oh, what's going on? The Red Bull's got me. I'm out of control. Just channel my dad. Except my dad's got a brilliant laugh after he says something like that. He's got like the biggest bear laugh. Yeah, feel better, Ollie. The whole sleeping on one side because the other side's jacked is not fun, because then you know what you gotta watch out for? So this shoulder, when it got jacked in jiu-jitsu and I wasn't able to sleep on it for like whatever that was, like 3 weeks, a month, then I wound up like this shoulder got all fucked up because I was sleeping weird. All right, so now it's dookie. I'm just getting old, man. So Desperate said, what will the XP speed be like in M&M? Nick said glacial, and I got a little happy inside when he said that. Nick knows how to talk dirty. My new goal is to get healthy and get younger, Sparrow said. If you figure out the get younger part, you be sure to let us know. Not because I want to get younger, mainly just because I want to somehow convince you to go into business with me, and I want to steal all the money you're going to make from figuring that out. Rediker said, I know how to talk dirty. How's this, Grob in a Thule? I get what you're saying there. For a second, I was like, I'm not sure where he's going with that, but then I thought about it and I was like, that's filthy. That's filthy. Why doesn't Twitch allow you to add nicknames? Because it's a small startup and they haven't figured out a lot of this stuff yet. Did you know that one of the higher level executives, like senior VP or VP of business development or something like that, used to be the new guy on the production team on EverQuest when I was there? He was a fun guy. He was really cool. I don't think he'd ever worked in games or anything before. And you know what? I talked to him for a little bit after I found that out. I was like, holy shit, really? That dude's there? And then we chatted for a little bit. You know what he was able to do for me since we had that long, that history together, and he was super high level in Twitch? Nothing. Actually, nothing. He provided me no additional value. Did nothing for me. Thanks, Craig. Asshole. No, I'm just kidding. He's a nice guy. All of a sudden the stream cuts off. I don't know what happened. Rediker said, I have all these connections. None of them are helping me get a new job. What is your dream job? I need some Red Bull apparently. It's the sassy drink. Red Bull, it gives you sass. You would think that it would be sarsaparilla that would give you sass, but nope. The one thing it doesn't give me is the ability to think. I'm sitting here just staring at shit for like 5 minutes each click. Death to Gnomes, I don't think that's what that song's about. Dream job is no job. Let's be real. Real job is learning and development. A dream job would be sitting in a cabin, one of those beautiful cabins that Instagram keeps showing me with the fall leaves everywhere and a little river nearby, or at least a nice creek, or maybe on the edge of a lake, in a valley, mountains everywhere. Jasmine and I were talking about this the other day. Like that perfect sort of cabin in the woods, where whenever we come back to it, there's always a nice stew cooking over the fire. Yeah. You have a lot more of a Monster Energy vibe today? No, it's Red Bull. Red Bull does this to me. Monster Energy's... I don't think I was quite as sassy on the Monster. Yep, dream job is mountain forest compound with my friends, maintained with our billions of lottery winnings. I think that's fair. I like that. Until the friends start to turn on each other, then shit gets real weird. It becomes a murder mystery. Has anybody made that movie yet? Prepper Murder Mystery? Kind of a little bit along the lines of the Cloverfield 3. Was it Cloverfield 3? I think it was Cloverfield 3. Cloverfield Lane with John Goodman. Robert said, I'm in a house in the middle of the Finnish forest as we speak. Got a wood sauna in the basement and a lake nearby. Not bad at all. Yep. You know where I am not? I'm not at that awesome house because Robert didn't invite me there. That is going into your file, Robert. That is going into your permanent record. I'm extremely jealous, Nick. Nick said I'm jealous. I was like... Hey, what's up, E-Sam? What's up, buddy? You said you're not real. How can you be there? I don't think not being real is gonna provide any sort of imposition. Goblin, did I say hello or not when you came in? I thought I said hello. Nightmare asked earlier, something I would like to discuss openly with everyone. EQ is one of the few worlds that feels alive. Why is that? To me, it is rare spawns, wandering mobs, excellent sounds, ambient noises. I think because it doesn't trigger the uncanny valley by trying to be real. That is my uneducated guess. It doesn't try very hard, so your brain just it fills in so many blanks that it feels real. Goblins are sneaky. Sparrow, did you really call me a sassy decorator? I kind of like that idea. I'm not joking, Nightmare. I'm not like just saying that. I'm not just talking shit. Like I do think one of the things that's really cool about EQ's lower fidelity approach to base content implementation. I'm not saying like the more crazy triggered stuff or whatever. I think there's just it allows for so much negative space, and it's so not try hard with a lot of what it's doing, that it just a lot of it just kind of melts into the background, and the things you focus on are just things you focus on. You're not being forced necessarily to focus on things. I mean, I realize there's like, oh, you're focused, like, oh, is that griffin about to come hit me, whatever. But the fact that you're maybe not focused on stuff and things are just kind of moving around randomly and shit, it's like, I'm not overthinking it. They're just there. They're doing their thing. They're symbols in a sense. They're symbols of a living world. But then there is that, like, but I am looking around for the griffin. So what am I focused on? I'm focused on the griffin or the giant or whatever, right? So, a lot of it is just, it's providing a context in which you get to decide how you want to solve certain problems instead of everything sort of feeling figured out and you just being pulled along that, I guess. What are some of the other things you people are saying? Had a nice NPC density, especially in cities, and didn't consider you the main character either in the leveling journey or the quest system. Yep. Rediker says the lack of things to do in the game in terms of combat, mini games, and such that most newer MMOs have let me feel more relaxed and drawn in. Yeah, you can just log in. You log in, you're like, oh, what am I going to do today? Maybe nothing, because nobody's telling me to do anything. There's a big emphasis on importance of place, on how you get there, camping and traveling to camps. Well, it's interesting too, just the idea of camps, right? Like, nothing, for the most part, not a ton is telling you to go to a specific camp, or you're not being pulled along to a certain camp. You just kind of, you realize there are camps out there, and you make the decision like, oh, you know what, today I'm going to travel halfway across the world just to see if there are any groups at that one camp. That always was kind of a cool feeling, right? There was that, is this going to be a waste of time? Man, I used to travel. I used to spend so much time just traveling to see if there was going to be a decent group somewhere, that more time was spent traveling to see if there's a group than actually getting in and being productive in a group. Very low efficiency. Travel could often result in an unforeseen adventure. You know, when you say it that way, it sounds even more adventurous than it probably even was, but that's an excellent goal, right? What do you think would assist in that goal? More random rares in a zone? Which, you know, would just lead people to camping the zone, but... That's how I had a huge Lake Wrath adventure, and it ended with a high dive contest in the middle of Lake Wrath. Oh, right on. That actually sounds fun. Yeah, that's what I mean, Rediker. Like a random wandering rare. It's like I had like marketing voice pop into my head. A cool main in every zone. Unforeseen corpse runs, yes. Nick said, unforeseen corpse runs. Get your Ghoulbane today, just $49.99. It's funny because I didn't see the get your Ghoulbane today part. Because a lot of times I'm reading from the bottom of the screen up. It was like unforeseen corpse runs. It's just $49.99. I was like, now that is a microtransaction I can get behind. you pay us $49.99 and we just randomly kill your ass and stuff your corpse somewhere. Welcome to your custom adventure. It's like the Legend server, only different. Best of luck. Yeah, and we'll even personally show up at your bind point and be like, good luck, pal. Good luck finding your shit, because for $49.99, we'll even put it in a different zone. For $29.99, we'll just hide it in the zone somewhere. It's like one of those escape rooms, you're paying for the experience. Absolutely. Three party members went too fast and left corpses behind. Can you find and res them all? That just sounds like a great weekend. What's that doing? It's starting to sound like Total Recall. For only $49.99, we can fill your mind with nostalgic memories of dying and running across the world to get to your rusty sword back. I really think we're on something. Oh, no, not on something. Onto something. We may be on something as well. High on the Red Bull, man. Do you even know how high I am? On the Red Bull? Total Recall, the original, was such a great movie. I haven't seen the new one, but I did not hear great things about it. Kind of like Red Dawn, we were talking about that earlier. I didn't hear great things about the new Red Dawn, so I haven't seen that either. But I do want Jasmine as part of her American education. I make her watch the most random shit. I'm like, no, if you wanna learn about America, you gotta watch this movie. So it's not even American. We watched the Wicker Man like a month or so ago. At the end of it, she was like, what did I just watch? What is going on here? Oh, spaghetti westerns, you're right. The Man Called Nova. We've got to watch some spaghetti westerns. I think I was... Oh, Goonies. I just saw... Because it's Halloween coming up. I think Instagram showed me... What's his face from the Goonies? Fucking... Big gnarly guy these days, but he was like the jock brother in Goonies. Why am I spacing on his name? Pause, go to, pause, go to, pause, go to, go home, set X command, we're good. Josh Brolin, yeah. Unchained said, I was in Bagroom in 2012, had an opportunity to watch the Red Dawn remake for free, left after 20 minutes. Oh, man. We were playing Op 4 for some trench warfare training. And it was like, it was winter or just turning winter. I just know when we got there, we were basically having to put up tents and shit in the sleet, and it was just... It wound up being a fun enough week, right? Like, anytime we got to play the Russians and use AKs and stuff, it was always fun. So anyway, we're freezing our ass off in this tent, and they had brought a TV and VCR, and that was where I first saw Pulp Fiction. So sitting in there with my battle buddy, basically under our woobies, like layered woobies, and just everybody's jammed into his tent, trying not to freeze, watching Pulp Fiction with a bunch of GIs as our first time seeing it was memorable. It was a lot of fun. Because there are definitely some scenes where people are like, what? Oh. So I feel like I got a better movie experience out of my deal than you did. Unchained. And it's funny because that was like 96 or something like that. And it was funny because we're doing that in 96. We're like, why are we training trench warfare? That's never going to be useful again. And now look at us. Reminds me of freezing our butts off in Bosnia 99, playing Tekken 3 tournaments in the tents. Don't leave the heater on all night while you sleep. We didn't have a heater, but we weren't out there that long, to be honest. So it was 2 men and 1 sleeping bag time. Seven and a half months. Took the CBs a few months to build our tents or our sea huts. Oh, man. No hot water and showers? That sounds horrific. Had to do full winter camping for college? Not your favorite? Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Why am I doing this again? Oops. DDJ, what's up? Look at you, DDJ. Not only did you come into an awesome song, you have the maestro of the song welcoming you in. You might as well just call it a day, son. It's not going to get any better than this. Bye, I'll see you around. You should go to sleep. You can meet with Ali in Dreamland. Dreamland with Ali. We're sleeping, but not on our sore side. I don't know that I've ever heard that part of the song before. What was that? Man, I had to have heard that before. It just, I don't know. Maybe it just feels a little different tonight. Those voices were calling out. It's a Red Bull. I can see the music. It's been a long time since I've had Red Bull like that, Nick. Ooh. No, I don't think it was the harp. It wasn't harps. They were like voices. The part where it's like, oh. Yeah, there's a choir answering the melody. Yep. Then that's what I heard. I heard the choir answering the melody. What did I just do? Oh my gosh, that song. Wasn't that in the Crow soundtrack? Or was that in the Lost Boys and then also in the Crow soundtrack? Lost Boys only? I don't know if she's seen. She's like the bigger, more popular stuff she did see when she was younger, but I'll have to see if she's seen the Lost Boys. That'd be good for the season as well. Sparrow said, I'm hoping crushed up pork rind for my carnivore. This sentence just threw me. I'm hoping crushed up pork rind will work for my carnivore meatloaf tonight. Trying to get creative. I see what you're doing there. Darius said just watched Lost Boys last night. Did you watch it because it's October? Unchained said, good memory, Sean. It was in The Crow during the memory scene where he comes and is remembering what happened. I remembered the memory scene. That's so meta. Sorry, did I word hard? Hey, we'll have none of that talk in this channel. No, I just read it wrong. And just like that, the Red Bull was gone. Yeah, that whole situation with Brandon Lee was pretty damn tragic. And to think, I did not even realize that The Crow was an Alec Baldwin movie. Oh shit, was that too soon? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Forget I even said it. Jasmine, have you seen The Lost Boys? Since you're interjecting into my conversation, my private business. I just heard you say, It was a perfectly timed him. She's on the phone with her mom. She's actually not in our business, guys. You should lay off. Quit picking on Jasmine. God. Can't take you guys anywhere. No, it's fine. Yeah, Keith. You need to calm down, buddy. Robert said, taking a Swedish snooze this very moment and will translocate that energy to you, Sean. Perhaps it can give you some clarity. Are you in the sauna snoozing? I need to take a snooze and join Ollie. Nothing beats Alec Baldwin and Glenn Ross. It's true. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think Alec is he's good in most stuff. 30 Rock? Glenn, you know what we meant, Nightmare. Sparrow said, I want to get my kids to watch Gremlins for Halloween, but they aren't enthused. Why are they not enthused? What's going on there? Oh, he's gonna clip through that, isn't he? Silly goblin. What kind of mess did that just make? Saw goblins when I was 10. Was epic. Yeah, I saw it when I was a youngin' as well. It was both epic and scary, but awesome. Our kids are 10 through 16. It's like perfect time. Darn kids. Yeah. My parents let me watch Poltergeist when I was like 8, Robert said. I've never asked them how on earth they did that. My dad convinced my mom that it wasn't going to be scary. And I remember I just got back from spending time in the US at my grandparents' house and flew back to Germany. And one of the first things we did when I got back to Germany was watch Poltergeist. And my mom cannot handle scary shit at all. And I remember we were eating KFC. We had like a bucket of chicken and we were watching Poltergeist. And my mom had chicken in her, like a chicken breast in her hand. And we had this little, like we had this young cat, this barely older than a kitten. And I can't remember what it was, if it was the tree coming through the window, spoiler alert, or the skeletons popping up in the pool or whatever. But she screamed and threw the chicken, like it just kind of flew out of her hand. And the cat grabbed that chicken. As soon as it hit the floor, the cat pounced on it and ran through the house with the chicken, leaving like a grease streak. And my mom to this day still tells the story of the time that loser got the chicken from KFC and ran off with it. And yes, the cat's name was Loser. My girls are 7 and 9. They would never sleep again if I showed them any scary movie. They are not fans. I can imagine that. Great day for the cat. Yeah, she was. Now, my mom will tell some, like, my mom's prone to a bit of hyperbole in her stories. So she still claims to this day, because we had this wallpaper in this German apartment that was kind of like, oops, it had, it was like a textile. It had like these, it was made of like woven string kind of thing. So it had like texture. And the cat, she claims the cat had the chicken in her mouth and climbed the wallpaper and was up the wall with the chicken. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but it was a good visual. And when my mom tells the story, it's a good story. And she tells a lot of crazy stories, and I was around for most of them, and most of that shit actually happened. So it's very possible that Loser climbed the wall, because she did climb the wall quite a bit, and my parents were worried that the landlord was going to be mad at us for all the damage to the wallpaper, because it was just like very climbable wallpaper. Does the cat get bigger each time she tells the story? Not in this story. She also, as the cat got older, as Loser got older, the cat, and this is true, I remember this part, Loser had a way of like meowing where it sounded like when she wanted to go out, she would meow and it sounded like out. It was like meow, ow. And I don't know if maybe she never wanted to go out and we just would always throw her outside when she made that sound, or if that's the deal. But yeah, where we lived, we let her go out and come back in and stuff, which she lived to be like 17 years old, so don't worry, the coyotes didn't get her or anything like that. And then she would also had a meow that was pretty consistent, that was like sounded like mama. And So my super superstitious Grandma Martha, great Grandma Martha, came from the hills of Ohio, and loser made these sounds, and my mom thought, oh, isn't it sweet? She makes these sounds, and Grandma Martha was like, that cat's got the devil in her, and would not stay in the apartment any longer. I don't remember what all happened. It could have just been those two things. I distinctly remember when we lived in Kentucky, Grandma Martha being real upset about the devil cat and leaving. I went back to the hotel. Oh shit. Oh man, thanks for the memories, guys. You're helping me remember all sorts of fun stuff in my childhood. Love it. Cats definitely have different meows for different things, especially if they pick up on humans responding different ways. It makes sense, Shannon, because they're pretty damn smart. And if they were bigger, they would just murder us. How'd I end up in Germany? I am on the run from the law. The press and the parents. Is your name Michael Diamond? No, my name's Clarence. Kudos to you if you know what song that's from. The Devil Cat, there's a new named NPC. We're going to get that in. It'll have its own music, Robert. I moved here in 2015 to work at a little game company in Hamburg. Just a friend of a friend was a connection at the company, and I really wanted to like get over to Europe for a bit and check it out. I'd been wanting to move back to Germany ever since I was a little kid. I left Germany. I moved to Germany when I was 2 years old. My parents moved us to Germany when I was like 2 years old. And then I lived here until I was like 7. And then from 7 to 8, I lived in Florida for a year while my dad was in California. He was undercover. My dad had a cool job for a little while. He was undercover buying weapons that people in the army were selling to the black market. It's kind of a cool story. Because he was in the army. And so he spent a year doing that. Because, believe it or not, there are times when people sell weapons and they get on the black market, or they go to gangs or whatever. So he was in CID at the time doing that. And so we stayed in Florida, which is good because when he was doing CID in Germany, I think I almost blew his cover once or twice because I was a little kid. I was really young, but somehow I knew to tell these guys in the commissary to stop talking about drugs because my dad was a narc and they would be arrested. Unfortunately, my dad was actually a narc, and yeah, so Unity, Talifora. Unity. Kids are the worst sometimes. Yeah, especially when they're almost getting you killed by drug lords in Europe. So anyways, we were in Florida for a year, and then we went back to Germany for another, like another 3 years. And I really loved it. I loved where we lived. The second time I was old enough to actually appreciate it. We lived in a tiny village. I've been back there a couple times since I've been back. We lived in a tiny village in a valley, and it's like small and crazy little Harry Potter alleys and shit where it's just an entire street's nothing but houses and weird alleys and houses and stuff, but it's super small little village. And there's a castle on one hill that is a nice restaurant and sort of spa, and was restored even back then. And then on the other hill, there's just like a castle that just was destroyed. It had like a really dope creek that went through the middle of it and went from our village to another village. So even at that young age, because there's like no crime or any of that shit, young age, for the weekend we would go camping, and what we do is we just buy food and stuff and like have our little camping, you know, gear. It wouldn't be much, right? I don't even know that like we even had a tent or whatever. And we just go walking down the creek, like swimming and walking down the creek when it was warm out, make a little fire, hang out. Just perfect. So, but that was also that age where, you know, reading The Hobbit and reading more like fantasy stuff, and the older kids on the school bus, because it was like to go to school on base. It was like a 30-minute ride each way in the morning, evening. I'd get on there. The older kids would already be on the bus, and they're like playing D&D and shit, and like, oh, what's that? You know, and so it was really good. That's when I got like Atari 2600. Was going to the arcade and seeing games like, I swear, seeing games like Dragon's Lair and shit. Had all my Legos, so I could like make I was doing like level design and stuff with Legos. It was a lot of fun, man. That was a great period. Really enjoyable period of time. VHS was a thing. Like, we'd just gotten the VHS, man. We were watching movies and shit. My dad was in a motorcycle club in that area. He wasn't undercover at that time, and they knew like who he was and background and shit. But he rode with this motorcycle club down there, and so we're always like, my parents would just be like, gone for the night or whatever. Here's some stack of VHS, and be watching like shit I probably shouldn't have been watching. Terrified, per our earlier conversation, Sword and Sorcery and Excalibur and shit. So that was a lot of fun. And then you know, going to like biker rallies and hanging out at the biker bar and stuff was a lot of fun. Yeah, had a rad childhood. If I could go back and appreciate it even more. Yeah, Dragon's Lair was awesome, Robert. Unchained said, agreed, that's where I received my sense of wanderlust and adventure. Yeah, there's just something about like that sort of Rhine area, that southern Germany, Rhine area. Northern Germany, no offense to any northern Germans, it's just kind of flat and boring, and well, let's be real, we bombed the shit out of it in the war, so a lot of the pretty stuff doesn't exist. You know, some of it's been restored, but we blew a lot of that up here in northern Germany. So, not as pretty up here. Terrain's not as pretty. Not as many castles and stuff. But you go down to like, get along the Rhine and follow that along. The Pfalz area and Black Forest and stuff. Pretty beautiful. You're in the wine business? Been to Germany a few times? Yep, then you probably were down there in that area. Or I'm just assuming, I don't know. I don't know enough about wine. I just know there's a shitload of wine down there. A lot of grapes. Unchained said, what I appreciate is those small towns and villages were built around geography and not the standard grid pattern you find in the United States. Yeah, and they were also just built probably over the course of a long time, random ass fashion. They're just so old, man. That was the thing that's kind of mind-blowing, is just how old some of these structures are. Like, you can rent an apartment that's older than America. And it's no big deal. Curious if that's actually going to work. I guess we'll see if there's nav mesh there. Is this halfling music? Nope. It is not halfling music. This is the banker music. US is not set up for walking anywhere. Well, I mean, I guess if you live in like a small town somewhere, if those still exist. Robert said, in response to Nightmare's comment, gotta love wine. Italy is my favorite for sure. When visiting Turin, I enjoy, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, Barolo. Barolo. Rediker said, I walked or took the bus train in Chicago for 15 years. I'm sorry. Not go home. Don't go home. Chicago's awesome. Doubles. All I know about Chicago is doubles and also sausages. Schwetty's wieners. Deep dish pizza. I did have some deep dish pizza one of the times I was in Chicago. I do know who Mike Dick is. He's pretty awesome. Ferris Bueller was Chicago? No shit. Why didn't I remember that about it? Blues Brothers. They ended up in Chicago, right? That awesome car chase scene. Morton's Steakhouse in Chicago is really good. Thank you very much, Sony, for paying. All John Hughes movies take place around Chicago? Alright, fair enough. Yeah, I've only been to Chicago, I think like twice for fan fairs. Hey, Quirrell. Quirrell, is it weird that every time I see your name, I think of the Walking Dead meme? Girl. Every single time. I'm not even joking. I'm not saying that to be funny on stream or whatever. Every single time I see your name when you come in, I picture that meme. Thought about treating myself to some Lou Malnati's frozen pizzas at some point, just to try them. They ship through Golden Belly. So, Belfaster, what's up? Hello. I get so bummed because I follow so many cool ass companies and shit on Instagram, and the shipping to Germany. The shipping to Germany is just so atrocious sometimes. the stuff that you can even legally get shipped to Germany. That's the other problem. A lot of the things I want to buy, I just can't legally own in Germany. Nothing against your company, Robot, but the music is making me want to hang out all the time. Oh, I was like, the company? Wouldn't the company benefit from the music? You're complimenting the company because it's the company's music. And you're like, my company, like hanging out with me as an individual. No, I would prefer that you hang out with folks in here. I actually love it when I look up and you guys are having like a wonderful discussion about wine and stuff and you're talking amongst yourselves. It's community, man. This shit's not about me, it's about community. I'm just here to sort of poke at the editor for 3 hours. You guys chat amongst yourselves. I just wish it was easier for the people on sometimes I forget that there's people on the YouTube that watch this, and can you even see you probably can't see the chat well enough. You can kind of keep up down there, can't you, YouTube people? Leave me a comment in the comments below about whether or not it works for you as well. Maybe I just need a big ass chat box. Just big. Maybe we need to invent a technology to allow you to, yeah. Robert said, Sean is great company. I have experienced it. That weekend was really epic. Meeting up. Had great fun. Dude, you're such a fun guy to hang out with. I am down to do that whenever. That was fantastic. But you gotta realize that we're still doing our 1 year of no alcohol challenge. So I'll have to drink alcohol free in your company next time. Thank you, Isan. I love it when you're here, buddy. That said, it is alcohol free for 1 year challenge. There's nothing said about spliffs. Not that you would. Oh. Don't worry, we go space cakes only. There you go. I didn't want, in case anybody didn't know, I didn't want to, narc you out. Didn't want to narc you out, buddy. I couldn't imagine edibles. We would not get anything done. Yeah, I have a history of doing it, DDJ. What was I doing? Other than talking about drugs. Gummies all the way. I'm just such a fan of candy that I would love to try that out. See, now we're getting back into the territory of like, oh man, I feel bad if I represent the company poorly. But then, you know what? I think I only worry about that not because of you guys, but there are some people on the team that are very professional, and I'm like, I don't want to misrepresent them, but in all reality, I mean, why start a company if you got to worry about stuff like that? And I think we should all keep that in mind. This is our company, so if you want to talk about getting high, then you can talk about getting high on your stream. That's fine. Think of the stocks, the shareholders. The red arrow is going zigzag down, Zukin said. Stonks can only go up, Zukin. Patty said, I'm an artist. I think it's assumed we all at least tried weed in school. I tried the weed, but I didn't like it. I did not inhale. I like to imagine target demographic quite laid back by default. Are you trying to say that our target demographic is stoned? Probably. Robert said, nothing against your company, Robot, but the gummies is making me want to hang out all the time. You don't even have gummies over there. Dude, I was so shocked at how prudish Sweden is. I know you're in a different country, but still Scandinavia. But Sweden is very like anti-weed. I was shocked. The drugs are bad. You never tried gummies? I haven't tried gummies. A lot of homemade brownies and edibles and stuff. Usually pretty tame, except for that one time that Jasmine made oil and it kicked in later. We were like, this isn't doing anything until we started eating dinner, at which point we had to eat dinner so fast and leave the restaurant so fast to go home before we accidentally flew off the planet. And then, but one time when I was in California, I did actually have someone go get me a little baggie of goodies, and all of it was pretty chill, except for the one like hash lozenge or whatever that was just like literally holding onto the table throughout dinner with my ex-wife. It was not slow growing at all. It was straight 0 to 60,000. Robert. Rediker said, I actually talked with my manager at work about this. How wild is it that you can talk with coworkers about having a glass of wine after work? No issues, but if you say smoke your joint or take an edible after work, you get stares. Yeah, I've got the feeling that's changing though, isn't it? I mean, it's like more and more legal in the US now. Demetrium said, a bit strange, Sweden is anti-pot, yet half of them are chronically addicted to snooze. Yeah, I don't know what, there's just a cultural thing there that I thought it was just the strangest thing. Both Jasmine and I, when we were researching Sweden, thought it was the strangest thing that'd be an issue. Oh, what was it? And it was weird moving from Germany to Sweden because, like, I walk around anywhere in public in Germany, especially in Hamburg, it just smells like weed everywhere. Churro Dude said typically a 90-minute activation time for most edibles. Well, if by activation, like when I read what you just said there, activation, it reminded me of the video of the guy that works at the roller coaster or whatever, and he's always got people. He's got people already strapped in. And he's like, oh, wait a second. I think the retention handle is broken, and then he pushes the button and drops them. It scares the shit out of him. That was kind of the activation on that one. I was just telling him about the time that you made the hot cocoa or whatever it was, and we went out to dinner. That was rough. Oh my god, it was so funny because it kicked in and I was like, oh no, and then I looked at Jasmine and was like, did it just kick in for you? And she was looking at me with probably the same terrified expression and was like, yes. I was like, we need to eat fast, huh? She was like, yes. I think we might have just put the money on the table and left when we were done or something. That's true. We may have actually been there for an hour and a half, and it just, the time dilation was real. The time dilation was definitely real. Get to the rest of the story. Oh, we'll talk about the rest of the story afterwards. You remember. But I'm not telling that part of the story on stream. Woo. Woo. Oh, that is too far. It's too far. There are fireworks out there. First said, my wife listening to you for the last hour while we're in the kitchen and be still my beating heart. She also asked me to turn it up for the first time. Oh. Well. Hello, Mrs. First. It's changing, Rediker said, but still, when most leadership is old crusty doctors. Oh, you work at a children's hospital. Yeah, I guess talking about weed at the children's hospital is probably with the doctors. I can see that. In Texas, you can't get real stuff, but trust me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I would imagine not. It's not like, you know, I mean, between Willie Nelson and Joe Rogan, I think Texas knows that there's weed there. Oh, wait a second, I used to live in Texas. Oh, yeah, and I smoked a ton of weed in Texas. You're right, it doesn't matter in Texas. I was like, yeah, that's probably true. Texas, yeah, you probably could find it there. And then I'm like, picturing my neighbor with the giant mason jars full of weed that I used to hang out with. Yeah, that's right. I forgot all about the 9 years I was in Austin. Robert said, when in Amsterdam, your feet never really touch the ground. Only been to Amsterdam once. And I did the thing. It was a cool hotel, and they had a fantastic like little snack bar with a little kiosk in the bottom. It was what was that? No, when I went in there, it was I forget what it was, like a Citizen M or something like that. Anyways, really cool little hotel, and I noticed they had a gourmet kiosk snack bar. Went out, explored some stuff, went to some museums, walked around, finally was like, hey, in Amsterdam, got to smoke some weed. I was like, oh, this weed's nothing. It's fine. I don't know if it was an hour later or 10 hours later, made my way back to the hotel. Did it have a weird tube shower and toilet tube? Yes, it had tubes. Citizen M, yes. It was the one with the tubes. And the window bed thing and stuff. And the shower was like in the middle of it was just in a tube in the middle of the room, yes. It came back so stoned with the munchies, and the kid that was working there, it just had that like knowing smile when I walked up with like just a stack of their like snackables, just little snack boxes full of cheese and all that type of stuff, meats. Hey, Mustang Spy. What's up, Blue? Tonight's our drug episode. Would you ever move back to America? Yeah, for sure. I love America. Like, I'm so into America, I can't even discuss it on stream because we said we're not discussing that type of stuff on stream. But I'm a big fan. I think Jasmine likes the idea as well. Yeah. Yeah, the main thing is her work doesn't, like, she'd have to go to school for a couple years to be able to continue to be a dental surgeon. Or find a different occupation. Yeah. But that said, your occupation in US pays really, really well. So, I don't want you to not follow your dreams of being an underwater yoga teacher or whatever it is that you want to do when you get to America, Jasmine. But, I mean, Daddy's got expensive hobbies. And no job. Yes, I will clean the floors tomorrow, Jasmine. Someone's got to fund Eminem. Exactly. Someone's got to fund Eminem. I was about to say, Eminem's already fun enough. Mustang Spy said I did shrooms in Amsterdam. Thought my girlfriend changed my face, and then I, for a brief second, thought I saw Rasputin. Mm-hmm. And then Robert said, Rasputin, because he's actually in a band that has a great version of that song. If you have not seen their version of that song, that's pretty sick. I would play it here, but then I would get in trouble for playing other people's music. Papa Mo, it did start with a pear and cinnamon Red Bull. I think they're pretty good for me, apparently. Rediker said, wife and I got a joint and some cake and went to a really lovely homestyle restaurant. I remember the food being delicious, but I don't remember what it was. It was also a decade ago. I like the way you described it. You guess he's not in Boney M? No, but that would be kind of cool. That'd be cooler if it was. I did not know about Boney M until I met Jasmine, and then she educated me on the German music. How's my German? Does everyone here speak English? I mostly speak German when I'm when outside of the house. Most folks here speak a little English, but their English is often about as good as my German. But working here, like if you work at a game company or whatever, most people speak decent English. When I was in Sweden, pretty much everybody I met spoke incredible English, like better English. They spoke American English, which is the best English. Because F Britain. But unless you're from Britain, then apologies. Didn't mean to offend you, but like, what are you going to do about it? I'm American. Will you be having another German meat oven extravaganza for Thanksgiving? No, I think I'm cooking some Thanksgiving for, well, at least for us, but maybe some additional family. Like Jasmine's cousin, her boyfriend, maybe, but I haven't heard much from them lately, so maybe not. Go to. Excuse me. That was the Red Bull talking. That was not me. South African English sounds nice. I've got a friend back in California, Harold, who's from South Affy. And we used to go mountain biking with a couple of our other friends. And man, he was an awesome dude to go mountain biking with. South Africa. Yeah, he had such an awesome accent and such a rad personality, like such a nice guy. So positive. If you live around San Diego, you can get his ginger beer. He started a ginger beer company based on his family recipe, and it's doing really well. It's awesome. It's Preston's Ginger Beer. Look for it. Follow him on Instagram. John, what rule earlier did I make that disallowed me from saying F Britain? Trying to get his ginger beer over here on this side of the pond. Really trying hard for it. No, oh, they're not saying curse words? Yeah, I mean, first wife's listening, So I don't want to drop too many F-bombs. I don't know about her sensibilities. I don't want to be shouting F-bombs throughout their house. Don't want to give anybody the vapors. Can I tell you a secret though, guys? Don't share it because it'll be embarrassing. I think it's funnier to say frick and dang it. I think frick's okay. Frick's okay. Dang it is okay, but like too many dangs, my duder, on the internet. One of the programmers on EverQuest wouldn't curse, and so he always said frick. Oh, but only if he was really upset because it was still a curse word. Like when he got really upset, then there was gonna be a frick. Rasputin. Yeah, so anyway, the thing that I was gonna admit to, John said sounds like me, not in the habit of cursing much except at Unity. Man, I freaking curse all day. Which is weird because it's just me and the dog here. But I will just sit here and curse out loud. There are scientific studies that show curse words. Using curse words is healthy. It reduces stress and lowers blood pressure. Yeah, you're getting it out. You're getting it out. This dude's ginger beer looks amazing. I told you, I don't lie to you guys. I don't make shit up. I mean, technically I make up all sorts of shit, but only in game. But when it comes to critical stuff like telling you about Harold and ginger beer, then I'm not lying. I am not lying. Though I was talking so much shit earlier, I might have set up some of these commands incorrectly, but I guess we'll see. It'll give the new designers something to fix. Salacious said, "Hey Robot, curious how it's going with the new textures, etc. I remember you mentioning it was going to be the next thing for environments. Environment folks are going to be getting on it. We've got a milestone. Essentially, we've decided to redefine the milestones and have basically a milestone that goes through end of the year that's going to be focused on getting a lot of that stuff in. Essentially, a kind of a polish pass because we've got so much new stuff that's come online, and we just want to make sure that we get that stuff in. And we've got a lot of this, like these zones where they're 60, 70, 80% done, and so it's like let's try to get them a little bit closer to done and see what they look like, and that'll help inform the rest of our work for everything else. It's amazing how I can take 15 minutes worth of work and really stretch it out over 2 hours, 25 minutes and 15 seconds. But you know what? I'm having a good time hanging out with you guys. So anyways, the thing that I wanted to confess to, I love, it is your fault. It's all your fault. The Man Called Nova. All of it's your fault. Rockstar. When Rockstar, basically when I was first getting into the industry and was on EQ, there was an interview with Dan Hauser, I believe. I think it was with Dan Hauser. It's hard to find because it was a print interview, but then it's been scanned and it's online. And he was talking about the future of Grand Theft Auto. and he said, I think it may surprise you guys, but the future of Grand Theft Auto looks a lot more like EverQuest than, and I can't remember if he said then something else or a lot like EverQuest. And like at the time I was just like, oh my God, he mentioned us, you know, because I had a big crush on like Rockstar as a company. It was just, I was so amped on that. And then went to E3, and Rockstar's area was like this chain link fence with like concertina wire around the top, and they had a school bus in there. It might have been for like Warriors or something like that. But anyways, and the folks there was great because they're all like tattooed and shit and cool looking, and in their little like sketchy chain link fence area on like an old couch hanging out and drinking and shit. And I'm like, man, I really like their vibe. Because you got to realize, like when I first got on the team, there was a question about, I had like facial piercings in my sleeve and stuff, and they're like, you might be, the guys think, you know, we're not sure about getting you on the team. You look a little, you know, there's some concerns. So it was a little more uptight back then. I mean, this was like 20 years ago, right? 20 plus years ago. And yeah, so I was like, man, I would always want to, if I had a company, we'd be badasses like that. Fuck this shit. Now you're weird if you don't have at least 4 tattoos. I know, Churro, dude. And if you're under, it seems like if you're under 30, then the 4 tattoos that you have to have are hand, sorry, my finger's jacked. Hand. So you got to have a nice tattoo here, nice tattoo there, probably one above your eyebrow, and maybe like one on your neck. If you're only going to have 4, you need to have them in the most visible places possible. And I encourage that. If you're a young person out there, watching this game development stream about drugs, then I would say, you know what? You should get tattoos. Just get them in the most visible places as soon as possible. No regrets. It's not like they're forever. I mean, in theory, they're really not forever. I mean, I guess you can get them blasted off. I'm talking shit, Zukin, but I seriously want to. I know of the artist. I know the style. I know the tattoo that I want. Hand and fingers. I totally want to do. You're letting your kids listen to the stream, Sparrow? What did we not talk about this earlier about me feeling bad about cursing with kids around? And you let me curse? I hope they had earmuffs on. For both of our sakes, Sparrow, I hope they had earmuffs on. I don't want to be held responsible for me corrupting your youth. Though they'll probably turn out very cool. I'll get them watching Gremlins, get them tatted up. Give them some weed brownies. It'll be great. But yeah, so but I've actually been saving the hands and fingers for essentially a certain milestone in my life, which I don't know if I'll ever hit, but if I do, then we'll do it. Zark and Soulblaze, thank you for the follow. I'm gonna get a tramp stamp of Fiona V. You should just get her name tramp stamped. You should get the map of Fiona V tramp stamped. Now that I think about it. Welcome back, Malus. How's your hand, by the way? Last stream I was able to catch, I think, was one of your first back without the wrap. I can do this, which means every time I drink anything, I'm fancy. Oh my god, that's amazing. Kellethan City tramp stamp with the quote, "Don't look down." Man called Nova, I think you're good. I think you got it. You've just won. Hey Cubby, there better not be an NPC like that in here. Please tell first to get a Viking tattoo. I've been working on it for over a decade. Is this first's wife? Hey Dargeth. Is this Mrs. First speaking? Otherwise, it's a strange statement. Guilty. I'll tell him. I don't know that he listens to me, but I'll tell him. Get a Viking tattoo. Is there any particular Viking that you want tattooed on him? Joining the stream as a purposeful distraction to avoid dealing with idiots at work, Darkest said. Well, we'll try to distract you. Anything on the calf will do. Fair enough. I guess my question is, are you picturing a Viking style tattoo or a tattoo of an actual Viking? I have a naked devil lady tattooed on my calf. So that's why I was wondering if you're looking for like a naked Viking on his calf. Zarkin said, I stumbled upon your old EQ interview videos and been watching them. Interesting and nostalgic stuff. Oh, thank you. Glad you're enjoying them. I think you're enjoying them. Those of you that haven't watched, if you like EverQuest or you just want to hear a little bit about old game development anecdotes and stuff, that link will take you to a... We'll take you to... Oh, I didn't need to do that. Like 60 hours worth of interviews with old EQ folks. Oh, Viking style tattoo. Okay. I was wondering. Because we were watching a video during dinner. And at one point it was talking about a Viking fighting like a fully armored... Where was he from? I don't know. He was fighting a knight. Oh, don't worry, I won't tell on you. He was fighting a knight, and the Viking came on screen, and Jasmine was like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "Hey." Is it the hair? Probably the hair. He had beautiful hair. The Scandinavians have amazing hair. For the most part. Dargit said, kicked off Project Quorum this week and have been absolutely loving it. So I'm assuming you mean you've kicked off playing. You weren't actually kicked off Project Quorum. Almost level 13 on your mage. Even the Baldwins? Yes, Sparrow. Even the Baldwins have amazing hair in Scandinavia. They usually have wonderful beards. Yeah, I had hair. Justin, I had hair when I started EQ as well. Doo-doo-doo. Those are some well-placed barrels. Fine decorating. Sparrow, I hate to disappoint you, but I did not place these barrels. These barrels were actually placed by the creator of the zone. Baloo actually placed these barrels. He made this entire camp. AI placed? Shh. Don't let anybody know. We want everyone to believe that this is still one of those old artisanal handcrafted games. Well, don't be disappointed. I mean, I literally said don't be disappointed. Is today opposite day, Sparrow? What's going on? You're being disappointed. You're letting the kids listen to these horrible discussions we're having in here. What's up, Mantis? We're doing all right. We're just hanging out. Plopping some stuff in here. At a high rate of speed. Wait, why did I just do that? Oh. I can't tell you what to do. You know what? I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot tell you what to do. I can suggest. I can coerce you into doing things, but I can't tell you what to do. You're correct. And far be it from me to ever coerce anyone. I might try to use some voodoo brain magic on you, but I would never tell you what to do. Athano is raiding with a party of 21. That is amazing. Thank you for that. Gavin's Awful Stream. Thank you for the follow. What were you guys up to? Fan of the game? That's awesome. That is always nice to hear. Welcome. Hello, Gavins. Well, I guess it would just be Gavin. Because it's no longer possessive if I'm just saying it. Just doing some dev on your own game? Nice. How long were you streaming? Long time. I know how it is. When I do a raid, I'm just ready to get out of here. So don't feel bad if you've got to hop off. I get done and it's so past my bedtime whenever I'm done streaming. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, we were working on this guy, huh? Yeah, thank you. Good night. Good night. Thanks again for the raid. These are paths. They are paths. I'm setting some path points right now. So I have a go-to, pause. I don't know why I just made another pause. Maybe because I'm getting sleepy. The Red Bull is wearing off. It's getting late on my end. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have go home. After that, pause, go home, and then we're gonna set active command to 0, which just loops it. It's just a loop. It's a loop. Then we need to save. Grab this guy. Let's go to here. I'm gonna save. Is this game playable or still early in development? Yes. I'm running out of sass. Oh, Sparrow. Don't you tempt me. My chemical sass reserves may have been depleted, but I have still got... I am full of sass if someone dares tempt me on the sass front. For how long have these guys not been using the actual spawn groups? Well, that's interesting. Looks like I have accidentally made happen what Nick was talking about wanting to have happen. Oh, forever? Forever? Oh, cool. Interesting. So Zarkin, I was about to say I can hop in real quick and you can see this, but I should probably make sure there's an actual spawn group associated with all these son of a guns. Sass in abundance? Yes, I have an abundance of sass. But it is playable. We had a big stress test a few months ago, and that was really nice. If you guys are not familiar with the project, I would say check out our website, go to the updates. Go to the updates part of it and check out... I mean, honestly, they've all got a lot of art and details and videos and stuff linked in them. So if you're truly curious, check that out. But we've got one of the updates I think is even labeled like post-stress test update, and it gets into a lot of the technical details of what went on with the stress and what we learned and how many people we had and all that stuff. So if you're a developer, that might be interesting to you. Dargit said, if you're new to the project, we've got a library of references and links to every time Sean was horribly inappropriate on his streams. Well, I've got the feeling that list is going to get a lot bigger. I've decided I'm just going to be sassy from now on. You guys seem to enjoy it. The archer bug that let you fly through the air was hilarious. Oh yeah, the retreat or whatever the ability was, where you just like launch yourself backwards. SGS, let me find my guys here and fix them. Oh no, Larry died at level 27? Oh man. It's crazy you got that high though. Joining the stream late, I usually YouTube all these, but is that a naked, fully, partially healed hand I see? JP, it is. The broken finger works great. The one next to it that didn't get to move the whole time I was in the cast, no longer. He felt... He fell in high pass while on auto run. Oh wow. That's one way to have it happen. That's not great. All right, let me see what's going on with this whole thing here. Okay, spawn editor, Sungreet Strand. Got these guys here. So 450 looks good, 451 looks good, 452 looks good, and they're showing in the database. Refresh the database. Uh-oh. Keith, are you still there? So doctors fix something only to cause more problems? Weird. Yeah. Jasmine and I have that discussion quite a bit. Let me try something. So if I go here, then we got this, but if we go here, ooh, Lord. That would have been bad. So basically, for whatever reason, it's strange your pinky won't bend just because of the cast out. So what happened was I guess the tendon or whatever just kept tightening and tightening and tightening. And so now it's over tightened. Right? So now the muscle or the tendon or whatever, like it's inverted, and so then it's not. But I was at physiotherapy. Yeah, it's pulled back. It's pretty pulled back. So the physiotherapist, I'm there for my shoulder at the moment. She's like, she's not necessarily supposed to tell me how to do physiotherapy on my finger because I'm there for my shoulder, but she was saying that basically you can do like a little massage here on this joint, and you just want to kind of massage it down and then massage, I guess there's a lymph node. Do I speak English or German with the doctor's therapist? Mostly German with them. And then for her, it's easier for her to speak German. But if I need to explain something in English, I can. Because we're kind of the same. Like, I understand better than I speak a lot of times and vice versa. But typically with the doctors, I speak German. That's impressive. Don't be impressed. Look at this finger. Apparently I don't, that's how this happens, Larry. You see what happens, Larry, when you speak German with the doctors. You see what happens, Larry. Yeah, so it is pretty jacked. I'm just gonna leave it that way. Gonna Dr. Evil the rest of my life. Gotta lay off that one finger jujitsu. Yeah, if it doesn't unjack itself, then I'm probably gonna always have to tape these fingers together when I do jujitsu. So people got slammed in the door. I was saving a kitten from a tree, and I was hanging by one pinky the whole time. The whole time, man. I was there, man. So if I had dumped this data set without going in here, if I hadn't noticed that this was missing on these, and I killed this data set to show you the game, I would have lost all this work. I'm pretty certain. It's looking like, watch, because I just did a filter to see if, because I didn't see these in the zone spawn table, they weren't here, right? So see how 453 is the only one here? Now watch, I just added this. Save. Open Spotify? No, that's not what I was wanting to do. Now refresh. SGS-TE. Now it's there. Yeah, that would have been a bummer. That would have been a unfortunate thing. So that's an important one. I should probably let some folks know in Slack after this, or maybe tomorrow morning, because I'm gonna go to bed. JP said, better than my childhood thumb injury. I said drama and then trauma. Cracked my growth plate in my thumb playing flag football. Stubbed it against another player's tailbone going for their flag. Didn't even get it. Now I just have one shorter thumb. Well, JP, I like your story. I'm not trying to one-up you, but I'm going to tell you the story of my dad's thumb. My dad only has half a thumb on his right hand. Because when he was a young boy, he raced go-karts. And he was racing his go-kart in a go-kart race. And he was waving to his parents. And he caught his thumb on a chain link fence. I guess he was racing too close to it and waved. And it ripped half his thumb off during the race. And so he only had a thumb, half a thumb from that point forward. And I grew up hearing that story and was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then I was sledding down a hill in Germany when I was like 10, and my sled went off the road and down the embankment a little bit, and I caught my ear on a chain link fence. And it tore it a little bit. Not bad. It tore it a little bit. And then I ran home terrified because I had a bloody ear and bloody hand and stuff. And my dad, I woke my dad up because I think it was probably like a Saturday or something. He had a rough Friday night, if you know what I mean. I was like, my ear, my ear, my ear. And my dad was like, call your mom. And went back to bed. Man. Chain link gods are out for your blood. Yeah, I don't. Did your family anger a witch at some point? Maybe a chain link witch. Well, we got us some busy work to do in the editor now if we want these things actually saved at a database. It's funny, Nick was just asking about this. Oh shit, and I should probably hit save each time as well, huh? Chain links are deadly. They'll get you, especially the tops of parts. That's not even the worst of it. Then later, I was a teenager, and we were running nude, and there was a chain link. No, I'm just. New fear unlocked chain link fence. Don't sleep on them. They'll get you. You should have a Halloween event in M&M where mimics disguise themselves as chain link fences. I'm so excited to get mimics into the game of various forms. Ooh, man. Looks like we're gonna spend the rest of the stream adding spawn groups to these guys. I can't select multiple, can I? No, I didn't think so. But that's okay. It's better than losing the work. It's better than redoing 2 hours of work. Even though, I'll be honest, it'd probably take me 15 minutes to do this when I'm not streaming and I'm focused. Yes, those two things, added M&M, chain link, and a cat with a chicken leg in its mouth. It was the entire chicken breast. She wasn't playing around with just a leg. She was going for the big ticket item. My cat's name was Loser because when my parents found out, like, I wanted a cat forever, and so when I was in the U.S. For summer vacation with my grandparents, they found a cat, and the girl that was bringing the cat over on her moped got there, and she was like sobbing because the cat had jumped out of the box on the back of the moped and was somewhere in the village. And so they had to go find this cat in the village. So my dad named her Loser. Because they lost her before we could even get her. That cat was tough as nails, though. She lived to be pretty much forever years old in cat years. Did we do it? Was this really all of our NPCs? Or, I mean, spawn points? We'll double check, and then we'll triple check, and then we'll see. And if it worked, then we'll actually see if they spawn. Alright, so let's click back through. I've got Slack notifications. I wonder if they're from earlier. I wonder if they're from anybody on the team. Stop talking about weed. What are you doing tonight? We recently lost our old cat. She was 16. She was a cool cat. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough. It's gonna sound crazy, but pretty much almost, I'll say at least a couple times a week, but sometimes almost every day I think about my old dog. Ziggy. He's actually when a raid pops off, Ziggy, that's Ziggy's picture. That's not Rune. That's Ziggy. And this little dude here, these emotes, those are Ziggy's too. I think about that dude all the time. So it's definitely, it's a tough one, Sparrow. But all of you guys out there, all of you guys out there who have lost a pet like that, realize you are not alone. We are sad too. Justin's got stuffed mooses. Having dogs on me is too hard. I don't blame you, though. Stuffed moose is the way to go. Listen, Sparrow, if you're not going to be sad, we're going to be sad for you. Cause you are not alone. We'll be sad for you. Alright, there we go. Now we got some goblins. 450. 460. 470. This looks like all of them. Yeah, Justin. Your little apartment's coming up, buddy. Justin's moving on up. Alright, let's see if this comes back. Let me check one more thing before I do this. These guys got me nervous. Alright, looks good enough. Looks good. What's the worst that can happen? So we'll disable. We'll enable. And tomorrow, if it's not already done, we'll actually fix it. We'll add /fix zone exits. Like, why am I eating candy? It's almost 11 o'clock. God. Out of control tonight. Good thing I'm streaming again tomorrow. So I can be out of control tomorrow too. This feels awesome. I love it. Alright, so let's hop in here. Lord, I left this up while in the shower. My wife talked. She did. She was telling us all sorts of stuff. She said first that you need to get a tattoo of a naked Viking man on your calf. I, for one, approve of that idea. I'll send you some pictures. I have a whole folder full. She's wanted me to get a travel tattoo for years. We're gonna get you tattooed up, sir. We're gonna get you tattooed. Sparrow's children are getting tattooed, apparently. But don't worry. No one's gonna feel it, because everybody's gonna be on edibles. I am the tattoo pusher today. I'm your pusher. Brown Butcher said I have 0 tattoos. Pure boy. I would have believed the pure until I watched your stream, and then I was like, oh man. Brown Butcher is out of control. I love it. Am I about... You'll have to correct me if I got this wrong. Is it Lulbly? Let me know if I get your name wrong ever, anybody. I will try to fix it. Fall 20. This is a stream for you today. It is the music from our game. And you know what? The person who made our music was actually in here. He was in here most of the stream. Yeah, it's very relaxing. That's why it's always just kind of playing while I'm working. All right. So, what time is it by you right now? It is 10:47 p.m. You fell asleep in a sauna for sure. Oh, right on. Good to have you in here, 420. Somebody in one of our YouTube comments. By the way, you can find the music here. Somebody in our, and I'm not picking on this person if you're out there, if you're watching it on YouTube. Somebody in the YouTube comments, I got like a little notification on our little dashboard or whatever. It's like, it's cool. It was from the chat video. It's cool that you're chatting with folks, but you should change up the music or something along those lines. And I went to find the comment to respond like, no. No. But they had already deleted the comment because they know what's up. All right, so I'm going to repop the zone. And we should see some goblins running around here. Shame. 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 How many music tracks do we have for the game at this very moment? Somebody would have to get on the playlist and actually count them. I'm not sure offhand. Zarkin said it looks like 16 from that link. Yep, so that's about where we're at so far. Oh, I want to make this guy walk around some as well. Probably have some guys roaming around in here, rummaging around. I had loads of fun with Obama and farts on stream yesterday. Was that Zukin's stream? Uh-oh. We gotta fix this. That worked. That worked. Derp, 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 derp. He's derping around. Old derpy goblins derping everywhere. Derp, 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 derp. What's up, Dark Inside? No need to apologize for being late. You did 4 hours of game testing, right on. When's your next date? Robert said 16 tracks, hoping to reach 20 before the end of the year. I like that challenge. Your next date's next week? Right on. Darius said, the zone looks great so far. Do you know how huge this freaking zone is? You guys want to see? I'll fly around real quick. If you want to see how huge it is. Is a halfling holding a torch, or is that an inverted grip on a dagger? Probably a torch. I'll show you. Let me put on my speed gem so I can show you fast. So we got our goblins that we just plopped up here today that almost got lost. Yeah, it is like 4 zones in one. Can probably add some more goblins walking around in here. Checking the inventory, if you know what I mean. Zoom. Double speed, place another gem in the next slot. I would quadruple speed it, Robert, but my frame rate in the editor right now is so freaking bad. How many players is a zone like this expected to support? Dargith, that's a great question. We're still kind of figuring that out a little bit, but more than you would typically expect. A big level range. We've got these guys here. We've got the ogres. I could probably get them moving around doing a bit more. These mercenaries that are hired to watch this path here. And then also, there's this whole other area up here that leads into this lake area. Oh man. I wonder if there's like a memory leak or something. Because my frame rate's just gotten worse. It's worse. It's worse. Oh my god, this area is so cool. Spoiler alert. Look at that. Oh, I made a crazy stairwell like this for a dungeon. A long time ago, on stream even. And this version that Baloo made is so much cooler. But I wanna definitely have more of these like stairwells with just abyssal type drops in dungeons and stuff. Oh shit. This is the area that's going to the glacial lake reservoir. So let me slow it down a little bit. You got to slow it down. Slow it down before you lose control. Stop. I'm trying to listen more than watch your stream because I don't want spoilers, but goddamn, that's really sweet. There's ice in the desert? There is ice in the desert. There's definitely some ice in the desert. And this is it goes to the aqueduct, which then goes to the which goes to the city. Yeah, this stairwell is so sick. Can you ride the aqueduct back in the Night Harbor? Not yet. Yeah, I love this stairwell so much. And so just imagine some of our future dungeons, the shit that's going to be going on. It's going to be crazy. All right, so then we come back out here, yeah. We saw the goblin camp at the entrance to Telekir. We got the ogre fortress. And then if we follow around the side here, again, I'm going a little bit slower just because frame rate. So you got the whole rest of the zone down there, but there's a sneaky path here, as you'd expect, for more goblins. So we'll sneak around the corner here, sneak in. Eventually this will be a nice view of the glass flats. Once the glass flats are developed. What? There's a whole nother higher level goblin camp. Whoa, look at all these goblins. Is there going to be an in-game bestiary lorebook journal with new entries unlocked to explore? So we've got a journal that we've started. That will be a record of conversations that you have with NPCs. So that's in progress. But bestiary, no plans at this time for that. Will certain races be more or less tolerated in Night Harbor? Yes. So we got some nice little caves and stuff in here. Goblins be stealing stuff. Check out our new website. We're about to do a website revamp, and I think there may be some cool things that you like. Oh shit. Zone line. My bad. No idea why that did that. Alright, well, all of that zoning was just so we can zone back and I can show you the rest of the zone we're in. So great. Strand. Watch out for thugs in the back alleyway. Yeah, you'll definitely, you can get ganked in Night Harbor. What's up, Shaka? Was just thinking with all these goblin dungeons nearby, they might not be as welcome. Yeah, that is a fair thought. When placing enemies, are you just feeling it out and tweaking it later based on expected group size, difficulty, etc.? I think we've got a... Yeah, I think I've got something going on. There we go. Okay. Maybe it's just spawning top. I was like... It's like, why is my frame rate taking such a hit? I renounced my affiliate status, so I can no longer have subscribers. It was just, there were some tax questions in Germany that were starting to get a bit iffy, and it was not worth the hassle. Appreciated all the subs, for sure, for real. It's been nice, but better without them. Easy fix, don't pay your taxes. That is the one thing you do not want to do in Germany. So we have a rough idea, you know, of like we understand group size, and we have a rough idea of what we want for camp size and what pools are like and things like that. So you saying my $5 don't matter? End SC2. What I'm saying is your $5 matters so much to the German government that I don't want to risk it. So we've got, let's fly again. We've got these farms. We've got these ruins. More farms. The little story to go with the farms. Oof. We've got ancient ruins. We got newer ruins. Got this nice brewery. It's got some, sorry, got some river pirates in it. Can't wait to get the boats moving up and down here. That'll look nice. Actually want to have the boat show up and then river pirates get off the boat, basically. Got these wooded areas over here, a little bit more dangerous. Another area over here if you're interested. Definitely give you a spoiler. You don't want to fall in here. How much of the lore of Eminem is done, would you say? I would say some. We got a lot more to go. You guys will be getting a taste of that lore, a little bit more of a taste of that lore with the website revamp that we're currently working on. Excited to get that first revision up, and it's not going to be too much longer. We've got a deadline in mind for that. We've got this crazy quarry, but some population work needs to take place in here. Just got some beetles in it at the moment. A few of the workers in here, but we'll be getting some mobs in here shortly. Got some new designers that we can have work on that. Then we got these beetles that are all over the place as you're working your way into this area here. They come out of here. Where is Night Harbor in relation to where we are now? When I go back out, you'll be able to see it again. Oh shit, there's beetles in here. They're glowy butt beetles. I got my head stuck. Like that these areas aren't trying to do too much. Some games are overwhelming with the details. Yeah, we believe in negative space. I mean, there's still a lot of like texture work and prop work and stuff that needs to happen, but still. What about these guys and what are they doing up here? What? And naturally we'll swap them up. We've got this nice system to be able to customize NPCs and stuff, but they're all placeholder. Dwarfs, correct. Okay. And where are we in relation to Night Harbor, you asked? So if the river is there, that means the river is east. And that means around this corner. So some zones will be big, some zones will be small. Some zones will be claustrophobic and cozy, other zones will be super long draw distance. So there's Night Harbor to the south. Oh. And there's a camp with some sketchy people here. Yeah, Dargus. Baloo has been blasting on this thing. So. Who are these guys? What are they researching? One day you will know. Bandits? No, they're nice guys. I promise. I promise. There is no tethering. There is no tethering. So yeah, it's a pretty big zone. Then we got our wonderful newbie yard here. Night Harbor newbie yard. And this is the northern newbie yard, not even the western one. So yeah. Me, it'd be cool to see a dwarf or gnome researcher camp. Sean casually throws a dwarf miner camp and halfling researcher camp. There you go, I guess. Yep, they're in there. There'll be more to come. Will the main source of XP be derived from quest, boot, or group killing mobs? Yay. Killing mobs. Killing mobs. I think you know what we're shooting for. You gotta stay on your grind. Here, let's time set 5 p.m. There we go. Cool things off before we wrap things up. Yeah, so we've got texture work to do. I don't know how refined our swimming is at the moment, but we've got swimming in. It's one of those things you can always work on and improve a little bit. It kind of creeps me out though. I don't like not being able to see when I'm in the water. Water freaks me out. Yeah, so there'll be casters that you can get teleports from naturally. Zarkin. There'll be ships that you can ride. And so this is just a river, right? So we'll have ships going up and down the river to take you to certain zones. We'll have rivers in our underworld. So we've got underworld zones. So there'll be rivers there as well, which will help certain races that are maybe going between certain cities. We've got some ideas on ways of maybe mixing the two. So what if ships are relatively infrequent, but then players can build ships and set them on courses as well more frequently. Not necessarily full player control for that, but they own the ship. They can charge you. Can we talk about the expedition system? Keith, we can. And we've talked a little bit about the ideas for them, but that'll be one that we could probably talk about long enough that let's do it tomorrow, because I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. It's 11:11 my time, so make a wish. But I'm going to wrap up here in a couple minutes, and then tomorrow we can talk about that and look at some other stuff. Did you just say druids should be able to shapeshift into dolphins and act like ski-doo vehicles that people can hop on? Dargith, that is very interesting. Man, it's getting dark. I have to wait for the other moons to come up. Oh man, it's real dark. Oh shit, it's dark. I wonder if this is the lighting change that Nick made, because it feels a lot darker now. Oh wow! Oh my gosh, it's dark right now. I was waiting to see if it was gonna lighten up when the other moons came up. Zukin said, yo, so when I did those time lapses. Is it bad that you like this art? No. Day and night are the same amount of time. I honestly wish dusk and dawn were longer and ate up a little bit of the day night. I don't know if we've got to like change the skybox to be oblong, or how do we do that? But because it's really pretty when the sun's coming up and going down. Holy shit, it's darker now. I mean, I guess in theory. In theory, the skybox is just whatever we draw it to be, right? So it doesn't have to be a different shape. Ah. Well. Put Noreth in a skybox. Little Easter egg. Get ceased and desisted. Yeah, having the moons all the way up, like all 3 moons all the way up, lightens it up a little bit again. Ooh, okay, guys. It's 11:15. Do I think they would throw a cease and desist? Probably not. Which of those moons has the kittens on it? We don't want to spoil everything for you. Some stuff you'll just have to learn years after you've invested yourself into the game. Okay. I'm going to wrap up for this evening, and I will be back here at the same time tomorrow for the usual Thursday time slot, which is like 3 hours before this. Good night, Keith. Good night, Nova. Maylist. See you. Fielder. Good night. Talit. Good night. Smulik. Later. Nightmare. See you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye, Sparrow. I'm glad you had fun. Zarkin. See ya. Robert. Thanks for hanging out. You genius, you. Tannhauser, goodbye. Zukin. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Always a pleasure to have you here, Zukin, my dear friend. Zorthu. Thank you for the follow. Churro dude, good night. I'm gonna call you JD. Jadaju. You take care as well. Rediker. Peace out. Casimo, night. Cubby. See you tomorrow. What did I even say? I forget. Jadaju. Maybe that's correct. Good night, Death to Gnomes. Good night, Death by Gnomes. Same time tomorrow. Yep, I'll be starting like roughly 8 time. Fuck, I'm so sleepy already. I'll be starting at 8 time units PM tomorrow. Good night, Dark Inside. All right. I think that wraps us up for tonight. I will see everybody tomorrow. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. If you're watching on YouTube and you actually made it this far, bless your heart. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow.